Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Sunday Spin. I'm Vinny G coming at you from the 6-4. This week and every week, the Sunday Spin is brought to you by our fine sponsors, What's Left Records in Colorado Springs, the 719, the Ostro Brothers, and Grooves Records in the 415. Special shout out to our man, Kevin Chanel. Get well soon. Had a nasty fall. We give him our best. Hope he heals up very quickly. And the greatest independent record label in the history of independent record labels. I'm talking about Anonymous Collective. Without further ado, my man Greno. How are you, my brother?
Happy holidays, Vinny. Great to see you, my brother.
You bet. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Thank you for the shirt.
Yeah, man.
How did you know?
I have no idea. I took a wild guess. I figured we would, celebrate those couple of wonderful television shows. My three sons, and then these three crazy guys over here in the workaholics vein. But Vin, yeah, great to see you. Had a great holiday. Both my kids are happy. Met my grandson this week for the first time.
Yes,
Milo.
indeed.
Oh man, what a lady killer. This little guy is just all personality and wonder. It's what a blessing. So yeah, shout out to my daughter Fiona and her partner Abel, raising a wonderful child named Milo. So yeah,
fabulous.
What a week it was, my friend.
Yeah, and I definitely see a resemblance in Milo and Greno. Definitely. So yeah, what a cherished moment. But that's what the holidays are all about. I'm very happy for you, brother. I truly am.
It really is. And I'll tell you, there's nothing I'd rather do, my friend, than spend the day after Christmas with you, my brother.
Doing what we always do, right?
Absolutely, man.
Rock and roll.
It comes natural. And I just want to say thank you so much to all of the people that tune in to the Sunday Spin each and every week. You guys are catching reruns. Lots of positive feedback and love from you guys every week. Lots of Vinny G shirts being sold and mugs. And oh man, it's Vinny. It's a landslide, baby. I love what's going on. There's a craze. There's a something in the air, baby.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah. And, shout out to the art department. Definitely our man Brock, who does all the work on the art for the t-shirts and does the mulligan stuff. But, greater picture too. It's allowed me to do one or two little things to help a few people as well. And I haven't had the opportunity to do that. I still don't have the opportunity to do that. It's just another way. So I want to thank you guys for buying stuff. Means a lot to me. But what a year, right, Greno? I mean, gosh, we're over 50 episodes now. Particularly this season 3. Standout moment for you? Something that just defines the season for you?
Oh wow, it's really hard, honestly, to think of one particular moment. I felt like it was the most honest season that we've had in terms of relating to our guests and the most natural. Whether it's a guest that we're maybe a little bit, intimidated by, or a close friend that we've known for 30 or 40 years, like Scotty Frazier. Our last particular show, which went so well and was so uplifting after the show, it just your mind wandered to so many, wonderful places and memories with people. So yeah, every show is kind of different, Vinny. I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, I figure we've got a little presentation that maybe great lead in, by the way, my brother, as always. But
sure, and on a personal note, it's lead in as well, because as much fun as I had this year, there's that defining moment for me.
Yeah,
and I've talked about it so many times off the show with you about it, but it's when Joel Archelos was on our show, and we were talking about how you always have your nose to the grindstone making music, and your reply was, what the hell else am I supposed to do? Bake bread. And it was funny then, it's funny now, but more importantly, it's true about what you do. And I just loved that. And that's going to be my defining moment for the year. As much fun as I had, I mean, that really says it all. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to bake bread. We're here to talk rock and roll.
Yes, yes. Rock and roll is the lifeblood and the soul of this show. We wouldn't be having these conversations and connecting all these wonderful dots that we're able to with our community. Not just our community close, but our community at large that we're connecting to in bigger ways. You know, like We Got Power Films and Dave Markey and, you know, Sharice Sprague and all just, I mean, again, there's so many, Bob Lee, you know, so many Rafters, so many wonderful guests each and every season. I feel like this season, Vinny, was particularly special because, again, the natural vibe of it. And I just think we had a lot of fun. We always do, but a lot of interaction from our guests too, and comments from folks. It was just kind of a different brand for us. It felt really good, really good.
It was nice to be appreciated. Yeah, I absolutely know what you mean there. Not that we weren't in the very beginning, but certainly, yeah, a lot of people have reached out and have told a friend that a friend has told a friend, and that's what gets a small pebble rolling down a hill to eventually have the momentum. And hopefully we're getting there. But yeah, you know, we say it all the time. It's not our show. We're not what makes the show special. It's all about the guests and the people that we've had on our show for the last 52 episodes, which to me is as amazing as anything. Because let's face it, out there in this big bad internet www world, you got a lot of choices. So I'm touched that we're here, we're relevant, and that we're headed to season 4, right, my man?
I'm so ramped up, and not just season 4, Vin, but we got the video fanzine coming out, which is the Anonymous Collective video fanzine. A salute to Flipside magazine. They put out a punk rock fanzine of videos. We do that too, and we're putting out our winter edition right here around New Year's. So a bunch of new videos from Skinny Mulligans and Mob Individual and a bunch of artists. I think Glass Parade. Might even get some Squeaky in the Futures on there. We'll have to see if there's a flash from the past, but we're going to have fun doing that. And then Vinny also, we're going to be breaking down the guitar sounds and effects and wonderment that was Rob Brewer on the album Elva. So that'll be one of our little side things we got going on, but so many blessings, Vinny, this year. And I want to thank the Anonymous Collective roster, each and every person that works super hard to make great music. And let's face it, they're not on the cover of Rolling Stone. They're not selling millions of records. They're not going out on multinational tours. They're often holed up, working at home, after work, late hours. It's their second or third job, their first passion. And I just want to give a shout out to all the people on the label, Vinny, yourself included. And I want to tie a couple things together by saying a really common theme that I think we really saw this year more than ever was just like the Skinny Mulligans, a lot of folks, a lot of guests were making music basically virtually. They're sending tracks back and forth via email, that type of thing. Talk about that for a sec, Vin. What do you think? What do you make of it?
It's been the common denominator for the subject matter for the last 52 weeks, with very few exceptions, truly. And again, you know, it's not going anywhere. DAW is what it is, but the biggest change since the pandemic started really was musicians, as musicians always do, is they find another way. Better way, I can't say. Easier way, yes and no. You lose a lot, you gain a few things. It is what it is. It's not going anywhere. I hope it becomes part of what I'm doing and what we're doing collectively, Glenn.
Absolutely.
As just another tool.
Definitely.
I think it's part of our diet would be great, but let's face it, we're force fed because of the situations right now. Again, everybody has adapted in different ways. It's been very, very, very cool to see what's coming out from all these people who are working at home. It's been very exciting.
And also the music it changes, because when we're not in the same room making music together, what other kind of music that we are doing, it's different. So when we're sending it virtually, it changes the way that it's processed. It changes the time length that we use. It changes the way we approach the recording of it and everything. So it's made some different music, some music that wouldn't have happened, obviously, otherwise. So that's what I find intriguing and interesting.
Well, and I can only speak for the union that we have working through the WWW and DAW and text, email, whatever it is. It's worked out very well for us. It doesn't change the dynamic that started the band and will ultimately wrap up the band when we're, hitting that senior citizen age or later. But again, it's been the necessary tool. We've adapted well. We're not computer savvy. I'm certainly not music savvy in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, you are. He's
I have certain things that I can do very well and others that I have no business doing, and that's always been me.
That's all of us rock and rollers, though. That's why we play rock and roll. It's never
exactly to bring something to the table. And it's been interesting doing that in another manner as well, to be honest with you.
It's true. Hey, we got some interaction. We got the Wolfman. My dad says, "You guys rock. Can you dig it? Out of sight, uptight." In that, we can't do that voice that he does, the Wolfman, so well. And then
only one, right?
So yeah, and also his voice was featured on the Backlit Sun track on the Skinny Mulligans album, a track we collaborated with the Hilbert brothers, Scott and Brian Hilbert. Shout out to those wonderful songwriters as well, doing their thing in the upper middle.
Well, it's great to see the Spoon Man is tuning in as well, because he is a 719 legend. And speaking of 719, another great highlight for this season for me was when we had the Alice in Chains episode.
Oh, them bones.
With them bones, yeah. And I would just, if you could take 30 seconds and talk about that, Greta, because that was a highlight for me. I've never seen that kind of spontaneity before.
That was a lot of fun. I loved working with those people. And the great thing about that project, it was, again, a cover project. We ended up doing 3 shows, 3 very successful, fun shows. We played really well and great energy from crowds. And but the great thing about it was there was these degrees, Vinny, of people I'd worked with. So there's Colin, who I'd worked with a lot, Aaron, who I'd worked with a little bit less, but to some capacity. And then Archer, who I'd done a little bit with, but I was very familiar with what he's done in the Rough Age stuff. And then Danny, our bass player over here, who's the legendary Danny from the Creeps and a bunch of other bands here in town, Colorado, and putting out great vinyl now. So yeah, I had a great experience working with all of them. I'm just very blessed to be able to spend 5 months to get that project together and do 3 shows. And yeah, it's a good ride.
And how lucky you were to get those 3 shows in when you got those 3 shows in. Again, timing is everything. This isn't the first time you've put something like this together. I mean, one of your strong suits is being able to be that head coach that puts a band together. You were born to do it.
It's a lot of fun.
The Neverness Hoax is a great example from 8 years ago now. To Them Bones just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, shout out to Aaron. Look, Aaron's watching. Thank you, Aaron. We love you. And Colin as well. Aaron. Wonderful people, wonderful musicians as well, involved with the a lot of music, a lot of different stuff. They have a couple bands going, including the Glass Parade.
So and you're working with heavyweights there across the board.
It's incredible. Speaking of heavyweights, let's have some fun, some multimedia fun, Ben, and delve in to this little section. I think you guys will enjoy this. What we're going to do is going to share the screen here. And
Yeah,
we're
we're
going
high tech
to
now.
slideshow. Hopefully this will work for you guys. We'll do a little slideshow and a little presentation of the Sunday Spin guest for season 3. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. All right. How's that look? That look good?
Looks boss, brother.
All right. So first off was Sean Ostro, What's Left Records. Our friend
The
Sean.
man himself. Yeah. Actually caught his act here in San Diego. Thankfully, it wasn't that act, though. No. Great meeting up with Sean. I'd never actually, I think I met him a bazillion years ago, very, very briefly. So it was great having him. And obviously, What's Left Records, the brand new institution in the 719.
Yes.
As for the employee of the month, his name is Greno.
Yeah, I'm the only employee, man. It's owners and me. So yeah, shout out to Johnny. Week 2, Rafter Roberts. Oh, what a great guest. Rafter was awesome. I met Rafter. He was on Mermaid Records back when, early 90s, put out a couple releases. 2 different bands, Watch Winds Down, Tumwater, and then a couple solo releases. He's now relocated to San Diego near Vinny, and he's got his own recording studio, Vinny. Looks pretty cool, huh? Singing Serpent, I believe it's called.
Yeah. And best to Rafter. I hope to hear from him soon. But another great example of that period in your life, especially, Greno, where you have that conduit NorCal to SoCal, which came right through that area where we've met wonderful, talented musicians like Rafter, thanks to that association that you had there with Mermaid, which is an institution.
Absolutely. What a blessing. All right. Next up, the Barefoot hockey goalie, Tony Accarelli, Blair Hatch. These guys are crazy. That's one half of the goalie, but they are the original members and used to play shows, I think, out on the street corners out there, right in Pacific Beach. Can you imagine?
Yeah, where haven't they played in San Diego, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Institution, absolutely, 100%, my friend. Could have not said it better.
Well, and what a year Tony's had, right?
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, we'll see more. Don't give it away, but yeah, we're going to see another slide on Tony later. But yeah, they were fun guests. We really enjoyed having those San Diego legends on. It was a lot of fun. Speaking of legends, look at this guy, Rick.
Oh, yep, there's only one, like we always say, right? What a year he had.
Oh man, incredible.
Not surprising to me at all, but then I know the man, and I've known the man since 6'4" high, back in the BC days, as you have. Great that a greater portion of the record buying public has heard Rick. He had a great year. He worked very hard, and there's nobody more deserving.
Yes, 4 amazing singles that he did in the studio with a bunch of great musicians that he's got a cast of characters over there in Santa Rosa, Windsor area, California, and working on a full length. So we're excited for 2022. And Rick, thanks for being aboard, Ricky.
He's on fire.
Who's this guy, Mike Watt? I think I've heard of him. Have you, Vinny? Vaguely recall.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a legendary interview, not just because it was Mike Watt of the Minutemen, Firehose, and the Stooges, but also because it was our longest, I think, interview we've ever had. It went almost 2 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't leave out our friend Kevin Chanel, who took part that interview as well, and in true Kevin Chanel fashion, killed it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mike was, again, and the one thing that I really enjoyed hearing feedback about that show, Vinny, and I think I remember telling you this, was that a couple folks were letting me know that they had heard, a lot of times Mike gets asked the same questions over and over and stuff. And we seem to delve into some areas that hadn't been, sequestered before, or whatever, the right word. Some fishing in some areas that were a good area for the pond to be full. So yeah, it was a good time with Mike. We really appreciate his time And yeah, man, what an honor. And we were on a roll. Speaking of that honor, look at this guy, Dave Markey. What a gentleman and fantastic guest Mr. Dave was.
Yeah, and what a humble individual as well,
Yeah.
too. I mean, just what a tremendous sit down. You really got the feeling with Dave when you were talking to him. You could have a couple of beers in between you, and that you'd be talking to the same Dave as you would with a camera in front of him. And I love that about him.
Yeah, yeah, and kudos to Dave. Rolling Stone just put out their 40 best rock documentaries, and the year that punk broke was a part of that. 40,
yes,
and I just couldn't have just been more well deserved for Dave. Done
absolutely.
so much great work. So we really appreciate Dave's time and looking forward to having him on again. And your buddy Joel, my buddy Joel, my brother,
Jersey boy. Yeah.
of Local Flight, putting out new music, new single a couple months ago, and should be cooking up a new album this year. So we're excited for that. And Joel,
and a singer again, which we don't get too many of those for,
poet, great lyricist. Yeah, man, he brings the whole equation to the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very awesome. And then the aforementioned Them Bones. Look at that. That's an action shot too. So yeah, left to right, there's Colin, and then Danny, and then Miss Erin, and then your chubby boy Elroy Greno on drums, and then Mr. Nathan Archer on the guitar.
Well, and the picture says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was fun. That was actually too. I think that was our best show. That was at Fritzy's.
Well, that's a rock band right there. You don't even have to hear a note to know that that's not a string quartet, and right? They're not playing ABBA covers.
Right? And Vinny, just to set the scene for you, Miss Andrea Stone, our friend from a previous show, was doing sound that night, and our teammate on the Skinny Mulligans, Miss Ariel the Blue Lady, was in the crowd enjoying the rock and roll show. So yeah, a bunch of us there. Vinny, I know you were there in spirit with us, so thank you. And yeah, that was a fun interview. That was probably 6 or 7 of us and 2 dogs too in the interview.
Yeah, it was probably past my bedtime anyway.
This man, oh geez, he's a link throughout almost every show. And we want to thank Kevin so much for all the hard work that he puts in to not just putting out great music and spreading the word through Grooves Records each and every day. What a legendary shop that is, Vinny. But just treating us so swell, right? What an awesome dude.
Yeah, more to the point. I mean, there are artists, and then there are artists, right? There are people who do right. There are people who do one thing very well, and there are people who do a multitude of things very well. And Kevin is the example of the Renaissance man.
Yes.
Who can not only do just about anything, but do it well and successfully.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, we wish him
and,
well. We know he's hurting right now. He's got a hand injury, so
yeah. Get well soon,
Yep. And I love that little Grooves logo, Vinny. I know you're into it.
Absolutely. And don't forget, the lemon limes, right?
Yes, sir. Oh, always cooking up good things for 2022. LL in 2022. Oh, these guys, the Eddies. Look at these adorable rock and rollers. Man, what a great band this is.
Well, yeah. And, if the Sunday Spin has a house band, it's the Eddies, right?
Undoubtedly. Yep.
What can we say? They were the first band to actually roll the dice and play live on the show.
Yep, they were.
And for that alone, they're pioneers as far as the show goes. But yeah, it's been great really getting to you say watch the guys grow up. But literally, when we're talking about the music world, growing up grows up real quick.
Yes.
And it's funny with every interview that we had with them, the steps that they were taking, not only in their regular day-to-day life, but as artists, was just fascinating and such a treat.
Absolutely. Yeah, looking for great things from them in the future. Shout out to Tony, Milo, and Atticus. Guys, keep going, keep doing what you're doing.
Right. And remember the true words of Milo, who said, he could easily see himself doing this in his 80s, like his grandpa.
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely.
Rock on, guys.
Yep. Shout out to Hammer and Hank Accarelli as well. All right. So Sean Ostro, part 2. I think that week, I think we had a cancellation that week. So Sean was gracious enough to join us and have some fun hanging out at What's Left. And told
I love the picture because it looks like he's a cast off from, the cast of Jesus Christ Superstar or something there.
Hey man, that's Sean. He brings it each and every time. Sean, we love you.
Absolutely.
And Brian as well. Brian's sick
right
now. So Brian has got the vid. So we want to give a shout out to him. I'll be filling in for a couple days, Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah, Brian, get well. We love you. And yeah, good stuff, man. With the Ostro brothers, always bringing it at What's Left Records in Colorado Springs, man. Always. Wow, Vinny, what a wonderful guest Miss Cherie Sprague was. We learned so much about a very, very amazing musician, very humble, in fact, a very illustrious history in her family of musicians, and what a fascinating story she gave us that day, wasn't it?
Oh, indeed, and more to the point with Cerise, what she's doing now. To get the background story about what's led her to where she is, to me, made the story of what she's doing right now, which is, kicking tail just to the north of you, all the more incredible. I'd been a fan for a long time. Obviously, the delightful week that we spent with her hasn't changed anything as far as that goes, Cerise. Keep kicking ass. We're real proud of you.
Yeah, she's amazing musician, and again, she's doing so much. She's got her open mic. She's got a couple bands that she's involved with. Writing, recording, just doing a multitude of things up there in the north part of Colorado. So we love you, Cherise. Keep doing what you do. This guy, actually, there's two guys. We kind of encapsulated two of our guests here. We got Mike Watt over there on the bass, and then Mr. Bob Lee on the drums, man. Then I was really excited to have Bob on the show. When drummers come on the show, my friend, that I get crazy with rhythm and want to talk shop. Even though we didn't get that much of an opportunity to talk shop about drums, I know that Bob will be back on the show again soon. And it was just such a pleasure and an honor to spend time with him. What a gracious man, and so talented. I mean, he's done so much different. One thing I want everyone to check out is go back and check out when he toured with Mike Watt. It's Mike Watt, Joe Baiza, and Bob Lee in Germany. You can find it on YouTube. Just put like Watt in Germany. And I think it's way back when, like maybe 1996, 98. So right around the time Clawhammer was just kind of starting to wane. They were still together a couple of years, but Vinny, yeah, Bob Lee, and a Jersey brother of you, another common thread through so many shows.
It's beautiful how the conduits, like we always talk about, point A to point B, all kind of centralizing from 719 Colorado Springs. Those musical avenues are such a delight, but the past histories are cool too. And it's always great. We actually had two from New Jersey, possibly more. And it's always great background. Not to take anything away from our brothers and sisters that we get to talk to about growing up in the 6-4. And I know next week, our last week's host and the last tile up there would be
Great segue, Vinny, as always.
Well, and another drummer, which is a real rarity. They don't pop up. I mean, Derek Bachman comes to mind as well, a drummer that we had.
Yeah.
But yeah, again,
Bruno,
the 6-4 connection is so important to us. Common denominator, but it's great because we already sometimes know a little bit about the background stories with guests like Scott, and it was beautiful. And again, shout out to Kelly. Who knew, right?
Absolutely.
What a beautiful story that he shared with us about how they met up and are a couple.
It's so true, man. It's so true. So yeah, that's the present. Oh, I forgot one slide. Let's see if we can go back, because it's kind of, yeah. Let's see. Are we still sharing screen here? No, hold on. Okay. Yeah, give us a second, folks, because yeah, this last towel is kind of relevant to what's going to be coming up in the future for you guys. We appreciate your listenership and your viewership and all the support and love that we get each and every week on the Sunday Spin. Wonderful guests too. So yeah, it was Scotty, and then this. Thanks to all our guests and fans of the Sunday Spin. We'll be back with season 4 on January 29th. So yeah,
the 29th. Now is that's before Super Bowl weekend? I haven't watched much football this year.
The regular season doesn't even end till like January 9th. So
crazy.
Yeah, they're milking it. So yeah, anyways, yes, we got that. Technicolor Dreams. You guys please subscribe. We want to make sure you guys can stay updated with all of our events and new shows and the video fanzine we got coming out. All the Mulligans videos that are popping. We got Mob Individual stuff cooking up. And yeah, and like our Sunday Spin Facebook page, that's a great way to see what we got going on for upcoming guests, especially mid-January. You'll be able to kind of see what's been going on for season 4, baby. I'm excited. Vin, before we go, a couple things.
Oh no, I know you've got some records that you want to share from your experience working in the great What's Left Records this year. You've probably been turned on some new music. So yeah. Show us what you've got for this year.
This is the Earthless live in the Mojave Desert. They're doing a series, actually, a bunch of bands. This is volume 1. Earthless is a band from San Diego, 3-piece power trio, and very heavy, hard rocking kind of, I guess stoner rock would be one term, but it's like that Blue Cheer, very
very cool,
very good guitar playing. Mario Rubalcaba on drums. You can never go wrong.
Well, and when you talk about 3-piece, you mentioned a great example, Blue Cheer. Any Cream?
Oh yeah,
interesting.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep,
very cool.
Just gonna move kind of quick. Sorry. Godspeed You Black Emperor, their new album. I think it's called. It's got a funny name. GD's P at the State's End. So that's a really good post-rock record. Use a lot of like really interesting sounds and cool stuff, drums, bass, strings, guitar, but then also weird like radio transmission, shortwave transmission stuff, and found field recordings of like odd sounding voices and other stuff. Spelling. This was a really good album that buddy Sean Ostro turned me on to. Singer-songwriter out of the Bay Area. Very unique double record. Hard to describe, Vinny. A little bit of pop, folk, Baroque pop, a little bit of everything. Very extremely talented on the up and up. Over 20 musicians she used for this record. Wonderful voice and lyricist. If you get to check her out, Spelling, it's like, I think with like 3 L's. Yeah, which is wonderful. Love the irony. So those 3 real quick, Vin. And then all these were purchased too at What's Left Records. Spit Boy. This was one of Brian Ostro's picks of the year. This was a body of work. Spit Boy was a band, all-girl punk band out of San Francisco. And this is like collects all their works for the first time. So an album, a split album, and then 3 singles and a bunch of other collected tracks from different compilations and stuff. But man, a very fierce and awesome punk band. And set the blueprint for a lot of other female musicians, Vinny. A springboard for a lot of girls to get inspired and plug in, tune in, and get rocking. So Spit Boy, really kick ass. That would be my reissue of the year. And then finally, but never the least, the Boys in Tomahawk. It's a super group, crazy mofos. It's Mike Patton from Mr. Bungle and Faith No More. Dwayne Dennison from the Jesus Lizard. You got Trevor Dunn from the Melvins and Mr. Bungle and a bunch of bands. And then John Stainer from Helmet. So yeah, super group, really hard rocking, but very creative. For my money, Mike Patton, I mean, just an incredible vocalist and does so many different crazy things with his vocals, just like our friend Brian Ostro. And but yeah, let's talk Anonymous Collective before we go. Oh, Bobby, of course, Pop's got I love it, Dad. Keep interacting with us. We love this. Great show. Awesome way to spend an afternoon. Snowing outside. Wow, in Oregon. So that's a weather update from Oregon. Thanks, Pop. We really appreciate you chiming in and joining us. We're going to have him back on the show eventually too. But
yeah, the 719 is clamoring to have the Spoon Man back. He's a 719 local legend, an actual performer in the 719 community.
100%, man. Yeah,
lightly, right?
Yep, he's always tuning in. It was cool. He was talking the other day with me. He said he's seen a lot of growth in our show and stuff. So, Dad, we really appreciate that. That means a lot to us. So, all family and friends that support the show, you guys, thank you. We really appreciate it. And the guests, like Vinny said, it's really about the guests. So that means that we're flowing easier with the guests, having more fun, and that's just what it's all about. So I couldn't be more happy, man. But yeah, let's talk Anonymous Collective before we go, Vin. What a year!
It's my favorite subject. You know that,
right? What a year for the label, man. Our best ever.
Truly, it's we've been so fortunate this year. The roster to me is the thing that I'm most pumped about. Because it's very promising for 2022 and here on into the future, that this little idea that we had all these years ago is actually, not that it hasn't come to fruition, because it did a long time ago, but now it's actually helping our friends in so many ways. And in return, our friends are helping us.
True.
And that symbiotic partnership that we've had with the artists on the label has been huge this year. And it's been very exciting for me to be working with all these people I love again.
Yeah.
And new people that I haven't even met yet.
Yep.
So thank you guys.
Yeah, man. And don't you have some kind of a award to give out?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the head office is called because it has been a very good year for artists here. But there's one guy really who we really think has embodied the spirit of Anonymous Collective through every challenge that we've given him, and has, as he would say, shone like a red rose. So yeah, without further ado, the check is coming. The Lincoln Continental is coming, but thank you and congratulations, Eric Shaggy Cullen. Well deserved, my man.
Anonymous Collective Artist of the Year. Our man Rick put out 4 great singles. Again, it was just so much fun seeing his growth and the maturity in his songwriting, and the cast that he's got working with him. A bunch of great musicians, man. Top notch. He's got a studio dialed in over there with some people he's working with. Not just at home, but a real actual studio that he goes to and works at and does all his great music. So, man.
Well, Eric does things completely differently than I do things. And that's absolutely a credit to Eric, because like you said, the man has a studio. He doesn't work, on his computer. He's the thing about Eric is, if Eric's going to do anything, he's going to do it 100% or not at all. That's why he's the success that he is.
Absolutely.
You tell Eric to do something, you ask him to do it. It's not only done, but it's done 4 different ways. And you got to love that about him. And how dynamite was his influence on 1966. We can't leave that out.
Yes. Thanks, Eric, for your work on that record as well. Love that track. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, Vinny, I guess we can tie a bow on 2021, my friend.
Well, again, thank you for the shirt.
More stuff coming.
Love it.
That's phase one of the gift giving, but yes.
Oh, same here. Same here. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
get
thank
your
you too. I'm ready for some online baseball. So
damn straight, damn straight. But anyway, yeah, get your fishing pole out. It's a month vacation.
yeah,
I am going to ask you one thing, G. A month off from
I'm
the
heading to
Sunday
Mayfield.
Spin. Yeah,
Sorry,
what are you
go
going
ahead.
to do?
What for the month?
Yeah.
We'll still do the Groove Yard. So we're gonna actually have you on here in a week or two. So we'll do.
Well, you won't want to miss that, right?
Yep, Greno's Groove Yard. Just so you guys know, it's kcosdigitalmedia.com each Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain for 1 hour. Just playing anonymous collective music. You don't have to get enough of me talking during this show. So
nobody does it better, though.
That's all music. So check it out. And then they have a killer app that you can click on and 24/7 Colorado music. What's Left Records? We love you. Brian, get well. Sean, you're sexy. Kevin, Grooves Records. Man, our whole sponsorship is a mash unit right now. Kevin,
Really?
Sean, we love you. Get those fingers and hands well and stay rested. Looks like maybe nothing a little tequila might not help out with for.
Oh boy, Greno, if we were the NFL, right? We'd be bringing George Blanda out about now, the fourth quarterback, right?
Wind struck today very nicely. Thank you, because I had a bet with my boss, so $40 richer. It was double or nothing, so they pulled it out. It was ugly 17-13. So yeah, thank you, Silver and Black, for that. And more importantly, Vinny, thank you for just being my right-hand man, my co-pilot each and every week here on the Sunday Spin. I look forward to it. I wake up every Sunday and think, man, that's going to be the biggest adjustment is always, for the month we're off is like wake up and like, oh man, no spin today.
Well, again, thank you. And as a wise man once said, what else am I going to do? Bake bread?
Hey,
no, it's dynamite.
Mulligan sourdough. I think
exactly. Yeah, it's been so much fun, and not the show aside, everything we've been doing this year.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's just been one joy after the other because, again, it's a lonely world sometimes when you don't have your loved ones around.
Yes. Yeah, man.
And it's been great working with you, brother. I'll leave it right there, man. Enjoy your month, people.
Yeah, you guys,
New Year
back bigger and better than ever in 2022. We just want to say until then, go to Technicolor Dreams. There's a bunch of episodes that you can probably binge watch, catch up on. Always fun and interesting because of our guests. The Sunday Spin exists because of wonderful guests each and every week, people that are passionate about their music, people that are they're not slowing down, they're speeding up, they're ramping up each and every day. And so, man, thank you guys for making this show so much fun. And the world of music, Vinny, I just can't get enough. I'm so in love with, I spend so much time not only just playing music, but spending time with my vinyl and my records and listening for new things and as well as, brushing off things from the past. It's a wonderful hobby.
Well, there's nothing more contagious than enthusiasm. Now, I didn't write that. Carlos Santana actually gets the credit for that one, and we hope he's feeling better with some heart issues. But yeah, a true statement. No matter what you're doing, but it applies in what we're doing. In terms of music and what we're all about. But yeah, it is. It's contagious.
Yeah.
And it's been exciting, and bringing our friends along for that ride has absolutely, to me, been the sweetest part.
It is. And quick before I forget, happy birthday to Miss Sarah Berg. It's her birthday today. Sarah, we love you. Shout out also to her partner, Jay, and little G. We love you guys.
Kid.
Yeah, thanks for all your support, you guys.
I saw he got a drum set for Christmas, Greno. I saw the pictures.
My got a drum set. and Roxy got all the cool stuff that she wanted. So yeah, a lot more rock and roll being made in this house. A lot more noise.
Well, you can't have enough. And wouldn't a Squeaky and the Futures reunion be the bomb?
Hey, we're trying. We're gonna at least put something together real quick for the new year. We'll let you guys know. But yeah, thanks Vin for everything, and gotta be fresh. So yeah, you got Adam, Blake, and Durs, and then yeah, that's right, absolutely. We love you, my three sons.
Yeah, shout out to our friend Barry, right?
Yeah. Living
Get him on the show. Great guitar player, by the way.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. Again, we're really excited about season 4. Gonna have a lot of awesome guests. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys in a month, and stay happy and healthy. Enjoy the new year. Be safe. And yeah, stay positive. And as I always say, Vinny, you gotta stay sexy, baby.
Stay sexy. Nobody says it better than you do, Grano.
We'll see you guys next year. We love you. Sunday Spin. Grano and Vinny. Vinio and Grenio. V and G, G and V.
Jagger and Richard.
See you next time.